Ladies and gentlemen, I stand before you not only as a voice for humanity, but as an advocate for justice. I'm here to address the controversial matter of the death penalty and the reasons as to why it should be abolished. The debate about the death penalty has been around for centuries, and a total of 23 states have already realized the negative impact it has on society and completely abolished capital punishment. 24 states still have it in use, and 3 states have a temporary prohibition on the death penalty. It's time to make the first number 50 and abolish capital punishment in all states. Now, throughout this speech, I'm going to be covering how the death penalty has no effect on crime rates, potential wrong executions, and how it causes more violence rather than reduced violence. Now, I know what many of you are thinking, that the death penalty stops potential murderers from committing a violent act, but that's simply untrue. According to studies on deterrence debunked, there's no credible research that shows that the death penalty has any effect on homicide rates. In 2004, in the US, the average murder rate for states that still use the death penalty is 5.71 per 100,000 of the population against 4.02 per 100,000 in states that do not use the death penalty. In 2003 in Canada, 27 years after they abolished the death penalty, the murder rate went down by 44% since 1975 when capital punishment was still in force. Clearly, if abolishing capital punishment in other states reduced murder rates, it's time to abolish it in our country. Criminologist Daniel Nagin states, "Nobody is well served by unfounded claims about the death penalty, and nothing is known about how potential murderers perceive their actual risk of punishment." Next, I'm going to be going over how perceived unfairness and potential wrong executions. According to Innocence Death Penalty Information Center, 197 former death row prisoners were exonerated of all charges related to being sentenced to death row. That means all charges were dropped and they were completely set free. This should not be happening. How is it fair to sentence someone to death just to come to find out that they're completely innocent? Could you imagine being told that you're going to die for something that you did not do? The main ways that the U.S. does execution is through hanging, the gas chamber, electrocution, and lethal injection. These types of punishments are known as inhumane and extreme torture. Moving on, the death penalty causes more violence rather than reducing violence. According to Does the Death Penalty Deter Crime? It says that government agencies diminish respect for life when the death penalty is applied, and it shows people that using the form of justice of violence is a way to stop the issue. Now to cover everything that we went over in this speech. We went over how it has no effect on crime rates, the potential wrong executions, and how it causes more violence rather than reduced violence. The question that stands is, the death penalty is not about whether people deserve to die. The real question is, do we deserve to kill? Thank you. That was so bad.